Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyrone Lade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self. In this day and age, really, if everything is okay, but I'll start talking and maybe somebody will get on and let me know if you can hear me or not. But I hope that everybody is doing well out there in YouTube world and the Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit. If you're on right now, will you let me know? Can you hear me? Let me type this in. Answer a question that somebody had for me. And that question was something to the effect of, I'm on this new spiritual path, but oh, perfect. Thank you, Sister Goddess. I'm on this new spiritual path, but I was raised up doing spiritually. And for a lot of people that I know that contact me, it's Christianity. But I hear this call for Ifa or whatever this new spiritual path is. Um, and I really want to do it, but I'm terrified of it. And I think that first and foremost, to know that it's normal to feel like, you know, this is scary. I'm stepping outside of a box that I have been in, and this box is one that system. Then basically, you're going to hell. you know, it's really just getting past programming. That's basically all it is. So many boxes for us to step outside of, right? And so, don't worry if you feel nervous. What I tell people that it boiled down to for me is that I looked at where I was prior to, and then I looked at where I started heading. The more I followed my heart, the more I followed my inclinations. I just paid attention to um, what what I was experiencing. And one of the first things that I noticed was how much more peaceful I felt. And it's because when you don't follow your heart, when you hear the call, because let me tell you something, people who don't hear the call, they are they won't budge. You can say, you know what, maybe you need to try this other spiritual tradition over here. Maybe you need to try, looking at this other religion, this other, way of looking at the world. And they will be like, I rebuke you. I will not do that, you know? But when you hear the call and you're like, you know what? I know how I was raised, but something else is calling me. Trust me, when you start going in the direction of the call, you will feel more peaceful. That was how I felt when I first started on my journey. I just knew wherever I am, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I don't really know where I'm going. And there's a part of me I remember back in maybe it was the mid 90s because that's when I first found Iyanla Vanzant, Queen of Fua, Deepak Chopra maybe, but definitely Iyanla Vanzant. And I remember there was this book that she had called Tapping the Power Within. And in the book, she talked about ancestral reverence. And I was like, ancestral reverence? What? Please, I'm not doing no ancestral reverence. Um, I just rejected it. But there was just something about what she taught. There was something about the feel of it in my spirit, even though initially I was like, I ain't doing no ancestral reverence. Is she crazy? But the rest of it, I was just like, wow, there's something about this. And so it was interesting when my mother passed, all of a sudden I was about that ancestral reference. It was about 3 years into it. And I was like, what did you say about pouring libations, Yama? Um, and I remember, even during that time after my mother passed, I was just so sad. I was distraught. It was just like a black cloud that would hang over me. And pouring those libations and even saying the Ori prayer This is all from Iyanla. I used to read every Iyanla book before, she became all big like she was. Every Iyanla book I could get my hands on, I would read it, and it was just something about it that just made me come alive, and I felt so good and so right. And it was just like I think about the movie The Matrix, you take the red pill and you come out the matrix. And it was like the more I came out the matrix of my upbringing, the more I came out of the matrix of what I was told, this is true religion. This is really what we think and believe. The more I came out of it, the more it was just like I can't go back. I just can't go back. But then I started looking at what results what was I getting from my life. And so, I remember at one point I started feeling like, because I used to deal with a lot of depression. And I think now that I look back on it, part of that depression was not answering the call that I was hearing. Um, and so I remember once I started learning more about African spirituality, and I started working with my godmother, working with the goddess tradition, I started feeling like it was literally saving my life. That if I had to believe the way I was raised to believe, and I don't say that that is wrong. You will not hear me put down anybody's spiritual paradigm. I'm not putting down nobody. All right, because I know what it's like for people to put you down for what you're standing on, right? So, and this wise priest, Bobby Shangi, said to me and the group that was meeting with him at one point, he said, "Y'all can't talk about Christians to me. My mama was a Christian. She was a good Christian." I was like, you know what? I like his attitude. I'm not going to just be putting people down because of their religion and what they believe and all that kind of good stuff. Whatever, whatever. But what I can say is, for me, and sorry about all the sirens, but what I can say for me is that the more I moved in the direction of African traditional spirituality, the goddess space, even metaphysics, I've studied Buddhism a little bit, chanting, all kinds of stuff, yoga, the Eightfold Path. The more I did it, the more I was like, okay, different addictions that I was dealing with. For me, it's mostly been like sugar addiction, food addiction, and to a certain degree, emotional addiction. The more I did my spiritual work and followed my guidance, the more I felt like I was in balance and I felt at peace. I felt like I was able to move past a lot of stuff. And as a matter of fact, the more I denied it, the more I went into dysfunction. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that we have to remember is there's perhaps it's a bigger construct. Perhaps it's just our ego. Perhaps it's our society. I don't know. But there is something that benefits from us not changing, from us staying the same. And so we will feel pressure. We will feel the energy to not change. And probably more than anything is the ego. So if you're saying, you know what, I hear a call and I want to move in the direction of what I'm hearing, but I feel all this fear. It could just be your ego trying to keep you safe, even though it'll be bringing up stuff that makes you feel like you're going to go to hell or whatever. Um, But still, at the end of the day, what I learned is the more I stepped outside of it, the less I feared, the more I became certain. That's another thing. Not only do you start looking to see, wait, this is helping me. After a while, you become certain. You become so certain that there's nothing anybody can say to you that would make you turn your back on what you're doing. Unless you just really and truly or say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to sell myself out. There's no turning me back. I cannot. I can't. I don't want to turn in any other direction. And I just began to realize the proof is in the pudding. That's one of my number one phrases. When people tell me what I'm doing is wrong with my life, I'll just say, you know what? Proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. I'm looking at what you doing. And I'm like, I'm not certain that you can tell me that what you're doing is going to really give me some good results because what I'm looking at doesn't look too good. So yeah, I'm not even trying to compare myself to other people, but if somebody's going to try to tell me that what I'm doing is wrong, immediately I'm looking at your life to try to see where are you in your life. Okay. Y'all look, at the end of the day, it's about destiny. All right. There, we are, I want you to imagine, I want you to imagine God saying, "Oh, I'm afraid that I might go to hell." How crazy does that sound? How crazy does that sound? That's us. "Oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna make a mistake. I might end up going to hell, or, this might just be so wrong." We are the great divine. We're here really to understand our power. We are here to understand our power. We're not here to walk in fear. We're not here to play small. We're not here to live by the world's rules. We're here to live according to the power that resides within us. And the only way you get into that power is you step into the new. The only way you're able to access all the potential that is within you is that you move in a new direction. Why do people think the world is the way that it is right now? None of us were making the changes that we fully needed to make. I was doing my best to make the changes. I kept thinking, "Ooh, there's some changes I know I need to make. By the end of the year, I'm committing. This change will be made." Well, the change was made. Changes have been made. I was forced into it. Why do y'all think this has happened? It's because this is an opportunity for us to step into something new, to tap the power within, to realize that if we need something, the great divine will provide it for us. If you think that you can just be one way your whole entire life and experience an abundance, experience prosperity, you're sadly mistaken. And so when you decide you're going to move in the new direction, just know fear is a part of it. Fear is an indication you probably might be headed in the right direction, especially when you're doing this in a conscious way and you are doing it for your greatest benefit. Fear is probably an indication that you are definitely leaving a place of comfort, even a place of complacency, and moving in the direction of your destiny, in the direction of knowing yourself beyond what you currently know yourself to be. Do you only want to know one version of yourself? Really? No, no. And so I just encourage you all to know when you hear the call, freaking answer it. Watch those of us who have answered the call and living lavish over in our new spiritual way of being. I'm telling y'all, I know what it's like to hear the call and not answer it. I was miserable. I really thought I just felt like I was dying on the inside. And once I just decided I was gonna answer the call that I heard, it was not easy. I'm not one of the ones that just made the turn and went full on into it. And I never turned back. But I went slowly forward. I went slowly forward, which is better than not moving forward in my destiny, right? And so, I just encourage y'all to go on ahead, do it because it's nice. It's nice. It's fun. It's good. It's freeing. It's liberating. And if I meet somebody who is a part of, one of the religions that people are used to hearing, and they're not evolving year from year, they're whack. I don't care whether you're part of a traditional religion, if you're part of one of these ancient religions that's being rediscovered, such as Ifa or the goddess-based traditions. I don't care. Everyone should be on a path of evolution. So, it's not just, and that's why I say don't put yourself up on a pedestal. If you free yourself from what you used to be in some particular religion, don't put yourself up on a pedestal. Just, cheer everybody on to grow where they are, to evolve where they are, because it's about their own ori, their own destiny. Okay. But I just say to you, look at where you are. If you are afraid to make the move and to in the direction of whatever you're hearing you're being called into, if you look at where you are and if you stay there, how do you feel? How's it working for you? And you move in the direction of the call and you are beginning to see that you're evolving and you're growing, or not. I don't know. I'm just saying you need to look for where is it leading you. If you're going in the direction of evolution, more abundance, more prosperity, then that's letting you know you're okay. You're okay. I will give one caveat to those who do say, you know what, I hear the call. I realized really quickly it's a lot of crazy people on this side of the path. It's a lot of crazy people. Oh my God. Man, some of these people, they come from, let's say, a religion that people are used to hearing about into, even Ifa or, they're just new age or whatever. They just bring that crazy over here. Okay. So you really need to ask yourself, are you just leaving from being crazy in your old path to being crazy in your new path? Okay. You're looking for somebody who's going to be like, come on, baby, I'm going to need you to evolve and grow and see some results in your life. Okay. And all that kind of good stuff. So don't come for one and just be crazy in the new one, please. All right, y'all. You really do want to see, I am better on the inside. That's where you'll feel it the most. And the more you feel good on the inside and you grow and you evolve and you have a positive mindset and you align with your destiny, the more you're like, yeah, this is for me. This is for me. And I'm going to give y'all one last thing before I log off. After a while, you may even realize you don't even need a religion. That's a little bit controversial. I am one who loves spiritual traditions, so I'm not knocking it. But yeah, after a while, you're just like, there's just the great divine, there's universal law. And I'll take a little bit from Ifa, I'll take a little bit from the Goddess tradition, I'll take some from Native American, I'll take some from Christian, Islam. I do not care what I'm going to be doing, what ritual, what book I'm reading. You don't even care because it's all one, it's all the same. And that to me has been the most liberating part of being part of a tradition and teachers who say many paths, one truth. I don't have to fight for any one thing. I can get something from all of it. I can grow and I can evolve. And I realize, the great divine consciousness is so expansive. What one spiritual tradition can really just help us understand the totality of it? Not one. They're all beautiful. They all bring something beautiful. And it's just nice being that way. All right. But I do embrace. Some people are born to be one thing. That is their destiny. Because I do believe that there needs to be um keeper of, like some people, they need to keep the Christian tradition or the Muslim tradition or the pagan tradition or the traditional path of Ifa. We need that. I believe in, it's almost like they're historians of that particular religion. I think that's beautiful. I think that's great. But the majority of us, we just need to make sure we get what we need, do what we need to do, make it work, baby, make it work. Y'all get free. Today is one of the most empowering days of 2020. This is a day where you can step into deep abundance. April 4th, mark your calendars. It's the start of a new cycle. Do you want to step into your power? Do you want to tap the power within you? Open yourself to this energy that is surrounding us, through us, in us as we speak. There will be two more transits like this year. This energy is vibrant. If you are not moving forward, if you're not digging deep within, if you're not tapping the power within, if you're not, I hope I'm still here. It says my connection is bad. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for logging on with me. And I hope that this is helpful to anyone who's out there struggling. Stop being scared. There's no need. Stay where you are if you want to, or move forward. I mean, I just say get off the pot. All right, y'all. I will see y'all soon. I have to do a full moon video for you all. It's the full moon's going to be in Libra on this upcoming Tuesday, I think it is. So please make sure you're doing ritual work that allows you to release and let go. One of the things that I ask people in my inner circle to do is to release one thing that keeps you from operating from your full power. Release something that you do specifically to keep yourself disempowered. Okay? It's real talk this year, y'all. We ain't got time to sugarcoat a whole bunch. What do you do to disempower yourself? Do you have disempowering thoughts? Do you do things that disempower you? Like, you know, for a fact, every time you do this, you definitely will be distracting yourself from working on your destiny. We need to be thinking of what these things are, and we need to write it down on a piece of paper. You can burn it, you can tear it, bury it, put it in the river, something like that. You want to find a way to ritualistically release this energy, and then you have to begin to intentionally make other choices, do other things, um, to replace whatever you're releasing. And whatever you replace it with, it needs to be something that takes you in the direction of your destiny and of your power, and takes you in a place that's beyond where you currently are in your life. So these are the things that we'll be talking about for the full moon, but you can be doing that now. Maybe tomorrow, Sunday, August 8th, I'll get on and talk about the full moon in Libra. And yeah, so thank y'all so much. Love y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video. Um, I will be doing a special soon. People have asked me, am I going to run a special again on readings? So I am in the midst of getting an initiatory process started. And so that's what my focus is on right now, along with my inner circle. But once I get all of that taken care of, then I will let you all know about the slots that I have open. It'll probably just be 10. I can't do too many readings at one time. It'll probably be about 10 slots available for the special that I'm running to kind of help people get wisdom to help them through these crazy times. But you might be on a budget. All right. All right. Love y'all. Take care. Thank y'all so much. Yes, I do have Cash App, but when I do the readings, they are all set up through, if you're asking about paying for a reading, it's all through my website. I run everything through the Runs website. Ashe. All right. Thank y'all. I appreciate you. All right. Peace.